Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of Youth to Gold here on Cricket Captain 2024. Hope you're all doing very well today. We've got our final group stage game of the Vitality Blast today, which I'm very excited to get through. It's actually against Lancashire, which it's a first versus second matchup. The result of this game really doesn't matter in terms of league position. We're playing for pride, and then we've got 3 county fixtures, 2 of which are at home, 1 of which is away. I'm very excited for this one. Bannister is currently injured. He's out with a cold. Actually, no, he's not out with a cold. That was the last game. Excuse me. I'm recording this back to back from the last episode. He's back from injury now. He's missed selection for the first test against Pakistan. So whether or not he gets called up for that, is it an England home series? Yes, it is. So I dare say this will be the only game we get from Bannister this episode before he gets called up for England. So hopefully we can get a good result out of him. The conditions are pretty good for batting in this one, so this will be, let's try and score as many runs as we can on this wicket if we bat first. If not, and we bowl first, try and keep Lancashire under 180. That's basically the general idea of this wicket. We are going to call heads on the toss. We've lost the toss, but we've been put into bat, interestingly enough. And if we have a look at the Lancashire 11, Keaton Jennings, Joss Butler, Phil Salt, some of these players we are familiar with just based on the fact that a lot of them used to play for the Manchester Originals, because that's the county, that's the club in the 100 that is geographically closest to Lancashire, I suppose. So a lot of players are zoned there, but the predictor in this one has us scoring 164. If we can get in and around the 180 mark, I'll feel confident, but I'd also take 164 on this wicket. Lancashire are a very good side. What a great way to end the group stage of the Vitality Blast, at least from a batting perspective. All out for 208. Higgins finishes not out on 103. His first T20 100. He's now averaging 55.45 in T20 cricket. How's it going for us? 53.05. It's very, very good. Fulks was actually the second highest scorer, funnily enough, with 26. We were 6 for 106 at one stage. Then a nice little partnership between Higgins and Fulks got us to 165. And then Bannister, Milligan, and Brownlow just stayed by Higgins. And we just scored runs. It was great. We now have to defend 209, and their predicted score is 179. Bannister should be able to clean up this lineup fairly quickly alongside the rest of our bowling cartel. I feel very confident that we will finish 12-2 in the group stage. And this has been as one side of the contest as I reckon we've had all season. Bannister takes 5 for 25, Brownlow 3 for 15, Milligan 2 for 29. Fulks unfortunately didn't take any wickets. We only needed the 4 bowlers to get it done. We win by 117 runs, and Higgins gets player of the game. And in the first round of the knockout stage, we're going to be taking on Gloucestershire, which is very interesting. They finished in 4th with a 7-7 record in the Southern Group. The Southern Group, Southern Division, whatever you want to call it. Lancashire will take on Essex, Sussex will take on Yorkshire, and Somerset will take on Durham. Our next game is actually going to be the Gloucestershire game. So we're actually going to have one extra game in this episode, I believe, because I think the other finals take place between the 25th of July and the 4th of August. I don't know how many other games we're going to get in between this episode, or sort of at this point in time, and the next episode. I intend to stop by at least the 4th of August. So however many games we play up until that point is how we're going to go. Bannister, as predicted, did get selected for the test team, so he is out. Who do we bring in? That is the question. Who is in good form? We could go Armstrong, bring in a second spinner, technically a third spinner, even though Vaughan hasn't done a great deal of bowling as of late in the T20s. How are we going in the second 11 this season? Beasley's been really good. That could be the one. Actually, that makes more sense. He's been really good in the T20s. I think that's what we do. He's going to come in. Armstrong will still keep on the outer for now. And we'll have a look at the rest of the 11. I'm pretty content with how it's going. Fulks, I wish he was doing a little bit better with the bat. I mean, he's only averaging 12. He's been pretty good with the ball, all things considered. I'm pretty happy. Willie's been terrible with the bat. He's averaging 9.5. He's batting at 6. So we might actually swap him and Vaughan around. Willie can then bat at 7. We could also bring in Armstrong in place of David Willey, bat Fulks at 7. That is something that we could do. I think we're going to do that. We're going to drop the captain, which is quite funny. We're going to send him to the second 11. Who gets the captaincy? We'll give it to Higgins. He seems like, we'll give it to Higgins. He seems like, actually, no, we'll give it to Fulks. Fulks is the most experienced player here. What am I thinking? I feel very confident that we can get a result done. It's a night fixture. We haven't played too many night fixtures in this series so far in the Blast. It feels like we're going to call tails on the toss. We've lost the toss and we're going to bowl first at home. A really good bowling performance here. 151 all out after 18.5 for Gloucestershire. There was really only 2 really good batsmen, Jack Taylor and Graham Van Buren. Other than that, not a lot offering, to be perfectly honest. Everybody picked up 2 wickets apiece and were very economical, with the exception of Brownlow, to be perfectly honest. Lancashire in their semi-final got 7 for 206 against Essex, so we may see them later on. We are through to the semi-final with a 3-wicket win over Gloucestershire. It was looking pretty easy. We were 5 for 134, and then we lost 4 for 134. We lost 3 quick wickets. It was not good, but then we just got the runs done in the end. Markham 37 off 25, Follett 74 off 45. Most importantly, he has broken the record for the most runs in a T20 Blast for Northamptonshire with, I think the previous record was 570 odd runs, which was probably Flintoff last year, to be perfectly honest, but he has set the record for the next person to break. And Follett is the player of the game. Lancashire also beat Essex very comfortably with Mark Adair getting player of the game, 48 and 2 for 31. A very good performance by him. Who is in... Lancashire is the next game. That is going to be a beauty. We've got to wait for a few more results on the other side of the bracket. As we can see, Sussex and Durham have proceeded to the next round of the Vitality Blast. We're obviously going to play Lancashire. Either we lose, which is one of the options, or we play the winner of Sussex and Durham in the final. How did Sussex go in the South Group? They finished in 2nd. Durham must have finished 4th, if that's the case. Yes, so anyway, that is a minor detail. What will be a very exciting part of the rest of the episode. We've had our youth intake, and I've received a player. He's a batsman. He's very good. His name is George Garside. He's 18 years of age, right arm batsman, very aggressive in first class, aggressive in limited overs, opener in T20. Probably one of the best players I've ever seen. He averages 71.47 in the second 11 in 3-day cricket, which is great. Bowls a bit right arm medium pace, which is awesome. He averages 88 in 1-day cricket. And in T20s, that drops down to 32, but that is expected. But that is just outrageous, some of the stats that he has. Like, it's not even close to some of the other players that we have in our squad. So he's going to be joining us for the remainder of the season and probably forever. Just the question is, where do I fit him into the squad is the only thing, because we're obviously a very batting-heavy side, and the person with the lowest average is Flintoff, and he's currently averaging 41.63 for his career, which is quite good. So I'm a little bit stuck to where I put him in, because obviously I do want to play him, give him an opportunity. Do I take out one of the bowlers and move Vaughan down to 7? Is that a thing that I do? Do I drop either Follett or Flintoff and move Smith to open? I've got a few questions that need to be answered. I've made the controversial decision to drop Follett. It's the first time I've done it, and I feel terrible because he averages 50 for his career. However, in the county championship, he's currently averaging 17. So I feel justified in doing that. despite him being in 5-star form, but a lot of that form is in T20 cricket, not so much in the first class stuff. So what I've done is I'm opening with Smith and Flintoff. Davies is going to bat 3, Higgins 4, Garside 5, Copperfield's going to come in and bat at 6, Markham 7, Vaughan, Beasley, Armstrong, Milligan is the rest of the lineup. I don't know if we've got enough bowlers, but we've got guys that can bowl, such as Steve Smith and Davies if we desperately need it, but Follett will come back in the T20 stuff when that comes around. Day 2 is going to be an absolute nightmare, so this may be another draw, but if we can bat first and then get a good run of things, get a bit of play on day 2, that would be great, and then bowl by day 3 and 4, that would be ideal, but obviously we need to see how many runs we can get on the board. Smith hopefully can lead us to a decent total, and I'd be very curious to see what Garside can do on debut. We're going to call tails on the toss. Doesn't look like Sussex are going to put in any of their youth intake, and we've lost the toss and we're going to bowl, which is not what I had planned. Pretty happy with the start that we've had to this first class fixture, all out for 213 for Sussex. The fast bowlers really did a number on this wicket in spite of it being a spinning pitch. Milligan, 5 for 36, really good figures for him. 43 wickets on the year now at 19.98. I've been really happy with his production. Beasley is continuing to get better and better since he's made his first class debut. He's now got 15 wickets at 17.60. Vaughan and Armstrong were really, quite economical. They just didn't get a lot of wickets between them. Davies at second slip also took 6 catches, which was hilarious. The predictor now has us at a 49% chance of winning this game. 273 runs is our predicted score, but they do have a very good 11. They've got Pujara, Lewis Deploy, Vander Dussen, John Simpson, Lion Cachet, one of the great names, Jofra, Bradley Curry, who I believe made the team of the year last season. But a very good team. We've got to be competitive and get a decent score in this wicket before the weather comes. We have reached a massive total today, 8 for 657. Steve Smith gets the double ton. Garside 100 on first class debut, and Tim Copperfield gets his first class 100 for Northamptonshire, I believe is correct. Yes, it is. 7 innings for us. 261 runs now at 52.20. Harry Armstrong also gets in with a very nice 39 not out towards the back end of the innings. We're in a little bit of trouble, 3 for 132, but then a big 282 run stand, if my maths is correct, between Smith and Garside. Then a little partnership between Garside and Copperfield. Markham wasn't too bad, batting at 7, got 25. He's having a very good season. Probably the best, has to be, well, if I'm not thinking of anybody else or not missing anybody else, the best wicketkeeper in the competition right now. At only 17 years of age, he's been absolutely incredible. Vaughan couldn't get many runs, unfortunately. Beasley got a duck, but I mean, it's not really his job. Armstrong chipped in with some runs. Bradley Curry, 1 for 202 after his 37 overs got absolutely smacked around. I can't remember if I showed this or not, but England have won their second test against Pakistan, with Bannister actually getting player of the game, funnily enough. He only took the 4 wickets, but was really good with the bat. 21 in the first innings, 26 not out in the second. Farhan Ahmed got 7 for 54 in the second dig for England. Very good performance by some of these young players as well. But we've got 4 sessions now to bowl out Surrey. They need at least 444 runs to get back in the lead. I dare say if we don't win this by an innings, it will be a draw, but remains to be seen. Hopefully we can get this wrapped up pretty quickly. Oh, LBW call to Beasley. Gets it. That is the victory for the game. A very comprehensive victory. Innings and 219 runs. Sussex all out for 225. Wickets were pretty well spread. Milligan, Beasley and Vaughan all picked up 3 apiece. Armstrong was really economical but only got the 1, so wasn't really rewarded for his efforts, but a really strong win. Very happy with how we played in this game. Smith gets player of the game, which is no real surprise. There's a few other results that are still waiting on results. That does make sense. There's a few other games that were waiting on results, but very happy with how this has played out. Smith finally gets back into some first-class form. We were missing in action a little bit with him, but he was brilliant today. Was really, really good. And with that victory, even though Nottinghamshire won their last game, we're actually in the lead on the county championship table by 1 point. Now, I don't know if we'll hold on to this lead. It really depends on the last 6 games of the season. But as of right now, we are in first place. Our next game is the Vitality Blast semi-final. And we've been very lucky here because Bannister's actually returned from international duty because there's a little gap between the second and third test against Pakistan. So he's actually going to play in this game, hopefully. Copperfield's improved his batting technique, and Brownlow has improved his defensive ODI bowling, or one-day bowling, I should say, to their limit. So we'll have a look at that. Probably now is probably the best time to do that. So Brownlow, if we can just send you to general technique for now, and Copperfield, that can just be that. That's fine. So we'll load up our last T20 squad. Smith is in great form. We could probably go Maxwell just to bring in a bit more bowling. I'm going to drop Armstrong for Bannister just because he's a better limited overs bowler and we already have 2 spinners in the lineup, so that seems like a reasonable thing to do. Garside, I want to give an opportunity, but I don't know where he's going to slot in. So we could go bring him in for Fulks, but who is going to be the second international player? That is another thing we have to look at. I'm going to go Smith over Davies just because he's in better form. We'll send Davies to the second 11 alongside Copperfield. And I think Maxwell's going to be the second overseas player. And as unfair as it probably is, I'm going to drop Beasley. Even though he is in exceptional form, he's been great for us this season. Just because Bannister's available, he is going to slot into that position. Garside, I think, will bat at 5. Smith can be captain, and Bannister and Milligan can open the bowling. I think that is going to be the 11 for today. It's an away game against Lancashire. Pretty flat deck. We've got our 5 bowlers. I think we are a good shot here of progressing to the final, which I believe we won in the first season, I think it was, of the Blast. But we then got smoked in the quarterfinal last year. So we're sort of in between where we've gone in the first 2 seasons. But ideally, we want to get as much silverware as we can to then add up and finish this challenge. So let's play this game. We'll call heads on the toss. We've won the toss. We're going to bat first. It's a competitive total. 6 for 187. Really, really good job by Smith and Higgins in that top order. We were 2 for 24. 92 run stand for that third wicket really sort of stabilized things. Smith went on to get 89 or 40. Was really, really good before being LBW by Rampling. Markham, towards the back end of the innings, I wish he accelerated a little bit more. Finishes not out on 17. Garside on debut only got 12. Maxwell at 7 was run out for 5, and Vaughan basically only faced a few balls in the last over. In terms of the bowlers, Sales was really good, Rampling was good, Adair was great, Hartley and Mahmood were expensive. And in the other semi-final, looks like Durham have batted first. Bentel, who is a youth prospect, or was a youth player from season 1, he's averaging 35 in T20 cricket, but 19 in first class, 21 in one-day cricket. Seems to be doing very, very well as a limited overs player. They go 9 for 181. Stokes got 33. Nobody else really did much of anything. Jofra Archer picked up 4 wickets. But it's a flat deck. Lancashire have a very loaded batting 11, as we've mentioned a few times this season. Our bowling 11, we've got Bannister, we've got Milligan, Brownlow. They're probably our 3 best bowlers in limited overs cricket. We've got a real chance here to make another final, but we've got to bowl well to get it done. It's season over for us, unfortunately, in the Blast. They chased it down. We just did not bowl well whatsoever. We had 3 guys go over 10 runs and over, and only picked up 3 wickets in 18.3 overs, and that is just not a recipe for success. Lancashire win. Phil Salt, 74 of 29 was exceptional. Butler got 72 as well. Keaton Jennings was a little slow off the mark, ended up with 29. But Vaughan, Brownlow and Maxwell picked up wickets. No wickets from our fast bowlers. Durham beat Sussex by 104 with Mitchell Kylene 5 for 5. An absolutely exceptional bowling performance. Alex Russell also picked up 3 for 11, so good for him. But yes, a Durham-Lancashire final. At least that gives us the rest of the episode to focus on our Vitality County Championship fixtures, which there's only 2 left. One at Middlesex, the other against Yorkshire at home. I think Bannister's going to go play for England now, which he is. Durham have won the Vitality Blast by 110 runs. Ackerman gets 100 in the final. 123, it's a really solid innings. So Durham get the victory there. Bangladesh have also won some limited overs games against Zimbabwe. We've been keeping track of that. Did Fulks play in this game? He did. He got 13 not out off 4 balls. And then with the ball, he got 2 for 40. So that's pretty good. But as I was saying, Smith has been called up to play Test for Australia. Bannister, as we probably figured, was going to be selected for England in that 3rd Test against Pakistan. But we're now going to make a few changes to the 11 that was really good against... I don't even remember who we played last time. But Follett's going to come in for Smith. We're going to give the captaincy... Who do we give the captaincy to? Inglis is actually an opportunity to come in, but we don't really need another wicketkeeper, even though he is our reserve overseas player. Copperfield made 100. It would feel a bit harsh to drop him at this point. We don't actually have any other opening batsmen apart from Follett, Flintoff and Denley available to us. So we're going to bring Follett back into the 11, which makes the most sense, even though he is having an absolutely horrific county championship. 17.55 average. Hopefully we can get a few runs into him today in these last couple of games. But in terms of this top order, there's no real reason to change it. The conditions, very nice on day 1. The rest of it is not great. It's a pretty flat wicket. This could be another drawn match depending on. So I think I'll just leave it as is. We'll give the captaincy to Davies, I think, because, Follett really doesn't need it. Davies is probably the most experienced player we have in this team in terms of age and games played. And he's an international player, and that always makes me feel happy. So Markham is going to be batting at 7. Copperfield just made a very big 100, which we can't really drop him for that. Garside made 100 on debut. We can't really drop him. Higgins was really good. Has been really good this season. He's not averaging as many runs as he did last season, averaging 47, but by no means is 47 terrible. So he's going to keep his spot. Davies is obviously going to keep his spot. Flintoff has been pretty good this season in the county championship. 400s at 52. No real reason to drop him. The only other change that I would make is to bring in another all-rounder, but our all-rounder selection really isn't that great. So I think we'll just keep it as is, as I said. We'll call tails on the toss. We've won the toss. I think we'll bat first. Bat while it's nice. Emilio Gay, former player of ours, is playing in this fixture. Nasanka, who has scored a ton of runs in the county championship, both this season and last season. Former Test cricketer Sam Robson is batting at 8, which is hilarious. Toby Rowland-Jones, who's been around forever. He's got a really good Test record, but he is 38 years old now. Any other players I recognise? Wayne Miller, he is a youth player, I believe, and he's okay. He's not too bad. Yeah, the draw and the Middlesex victory is actually pretty heavy favourites here. 374 runs is a predicted total, but if we can outperform that by, 50 to 60 runs, that would be ideal, because really, I don't want to have to bat twice in these conditions, especially on days, the back end of day 2, early 3 and 4. We basically got what we asked for, 397. We got a couple of extra runs. Flintoff was really good at the top of the order. We got 55. Davies wasn't too bad, got 37. Higgins got 60. Follett got a duck. His first class duck, I believe. But Garside, back-to-back hundreds. in first-class cricket. He has been absolutely incredible since we've gotten him. Copperfield couldn't replicate his form from the last game. Markham was going it over a run a ball, got his 31. Vaughan got 49. Beasley surprised us with a 28, which was really nice. And then the last wicket fell, which was Armstrong. He was 8 off 17. But this is where the tricky part begins. We haven't lost any play yet. The rest of this session looks to be pretty good, but it's the next 5 that I'm worried about with the weather conditions. If they score, in the ballpark of 250, we're going to have to bat again, which I really don't want to do because I don't think we're going to have enough time for a result. But considering their top order, mainly Nasanka is the player that I'm worried about the most. It's not going to be good if we don't bowl really well. Unfortunately for us, they just avoid the follow-on only by a couple, actually only 1 run. They avoid the follow-on by, we lead by 149, but we're going to have to bat again. And it's all thanks to Wayne Miller, who 125 of 107 was absolutely incredible. Our spinners, apart from 2 overs of Follett, got absolutely carded. Vaughan took 4 for 79, but only bowled 10 overs. He was taking wickets, so I felt compelled to leave him on, Armstrong just was no good. We've already lost a bit of time as well. Beasley and Milligan were really good with the new ball. But yeah, just the spin was, we got absolutely belted by Nasanka, by Miller, even by Emilio Gay, who typically is a pretty defensive batsman. Yeah, just absolutely tonked us all around the park. And we've also lost a total of 2.5 hours, which hasn't been ideal. England and the Pakistan game, Bannister picked up 3 for 92 in the first innings as well, for those of you who are interested. Farhan Ahmed also got 2 for 41. All out for 158, and it could have been a lot worse if not for the last 2 wicket partnerships. We were 8 for 73 at one point. Brooks from... Actually, it's not the Brooks from the Manchester Originals. I was incorrect. He hasn't actually got that good a record, but 5 for 54 was very good. Forrester, who is a South African international, a very good record for him, picked up 4, and then Toby Rowland-Jones picked up the last wicket. Archie Vaughan, the only batsman to get past 50. Follett gets a king pair. Not a great match. His average is now below 50 officially for the first time since his debut. Flintoff got 30. Davies, Higgin, Garside, Copperfield barely got 20 between them. Markham got 10. Beasley a duck. Armstrong and Milligan were our other top scorers as well. It's now early on day 4 and Middlesex need 308 to win. The predictor actually has Middlesex at a good chance here at 60%, but their predicted score is 283. Whether or not we can get all 10 wickets before then is really dependent on if we lose any time in this morning session, because the rest of the match is meant to be pretty good weather-wise. Cricket can be one of those games where you feel the utmost satisfaction with an awesome victory, the devastations of a loss, and the frustrations of a game that you really should have won. We had them 9 for 202 with quite a long time left in the game. I need to have a look at where we took our last wicket. We took it at the 65th over, and the last partnership has basically been 40 overs. They scored just over 70, actually 85 runs. I mean, credit to them, they batted really well, really locked down the fort, but it's a game we should have won. The bowlers were, I mean, none of us bowled badly or anything, we just couldn't get the wickets. Milligan took 3 for 73 from his 24. Beasley was really good, 1 for 16 from 20 overs. Armstrong 2 for 82 and Vaughan 2 for 73. Follett also chipped in with a wicket from his 11 overs. But really a game we should have won this one. And with that frustrating result, Nottinghamshire go back top. They are 8 wins, 1 loss, where 8 wins, 1 draw, where 6 wins, 3 draws. But with the bonus points that we have accrued with the bat, we're only 6 points behind. I don't think anybody else is going to be close enough to be able to reach us in the top 2. Nobody else, Gloucestershire and Somerset have only lost 1 game. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Sussex still haven't won a game in Division 1, but they finally dropped below Durham with 6 losses and 4 draws. Last game of the episode is now Northamptonshire, Yorkshire at home. Bannister has returned from international duty. Unfortunately, they did lose that final test up against Pakistan. But on a positive note, if we have a look at Bannister, he did get his first 5-wicket haul in Test cricket. So that was great. Now has 46 wickets for his career at the age of 23. Not too bad. And I've decided to drop Copperfield in exchange for Bannister, who is actually going to play his first class game for us this season, which I'm actually very much looking forward to. Milligan is going to be the other opening bowler. Beasley can be a change bowler with Armstrong batting at 10. Vaughan's going to bat at 7, Markham 6. Follett and Flintoff will be open as per usual. Davies, Higgins, Garside all consist of the middle order. And the pitch at home looks pretty good in terms of the weather. Day 1's going to be awesome for batting. Day 2, there's a bit of cloud and maybe a bit of rain in the morning session, but the rest of the game should be okay. Let's get into this one. We're going to go heads on the toss as we usually do. We've lost the toss and we're going to have a bowl. We've bowled Yorkshire all out for 323. Joe Root with a very nice 103 off 163. He's been in pretty good nick this season. If we have a look, he's averaging 63 in first class cricket, only 39 in tests, but 86.25 domestically. He has been outstanding. Harry Brook made a half century, but we bowled pretty well. Harry Armstrong 4 for 106 was the best of our bowlers. Milligan picked up 3, Bannister 2, Vaughan 1. Beasley unfortunately went wicketless. We're anticipating a little bit of bad weather in the back half of this session. I wouldn't be surprised if it did come, but it looks to be okay for the rest of the game. Predictor has Yorkshire winning this one pretty comfortably. We're predicted to score 264, which seems a little low considering our batting output this season, but we'll just have to see how we play. We trail after the first 2 innings of the game, only by 31 runs, so it's not a big amount. All out for 292. Markham finishes not out on exactly 100. How many hundreds is that for the season? It's 5 hundreds for the season. He's been absolutely incredible. Flintoff was the only other batsman to pass 50, and he actually only just got 50 as well. Garside was pretty good, got 32. Vaughan got 27, but apart from that, it was a lot of 20 and below scores. Shaheen Shah Afridi got 5 for 60. Apart from that, not a lot to report really, and we've got 1 over to go at the end of day 2. In other news, Australia has beaten Afghanistan in their only test by a whopping 387 runs. Steve Smith, how did he go? 23 and 9 wasn't great. I'm assuming he didn't bowl either. No Ollie Davies in this one because he's obviously playing for us. And by the looks of it, no Josh Inglis. We finally bowl them all out. 9 for 217 becomes all out for 217. A stumping to Markham off the bowling of Armstrong. The 9th wicket partnership of 114 runs between Fisher and Afridi was very frustrating. We had them 8 for 103. Bannister and Milligan were exceptional. Bannister 4 for 52. Really, really good. Milligan again 3 for 57 was great. Beasley didn't get any wickets in this one either. He was no good. Armstrong picked up 2. Vaughan only bowled the 3 overs but got a wicket. Shaheen Shah Afridi led the way with 64. And we now need 249 to win. And there's also, I forgot to mention earlier, Zach Fulks picked up 3 for 25 in a T20 loss to the West Indies. He's been in pretty good form. Also got 22 not out with the bat. The pitch is doing a little bit. There's still plenty of time left in the game. There's an hour and a half to go on day 3. Full day tomorrow. The time shouldn't be an issue. That's probably over 100 overs to chase down the 250. But it's going to be the wickets, the survival. Follett is in dreadful form in not limited overs cricket. First class cricket. He is just having an absolute stinker this season. He's averaging 18 with the bat. I believe that's including the university game. So he's actually averaging 14 in the county championship. Flintoff's been pretty good. If we have a look, he's averaging 50 on the season. Garside's had a really good start to his career. He's currently averaging 69, although that is only 4 innings. But hopefully we don't need to go too far down the order to secure this victory. We get it done, 5 wickets lost, we win by 5 wickets. Higgins finishes 73, not out. A few plays and misses in there, but did a really good job to get another half century. Follett actually gets his first half century of the season in the county championship. So he's now averaging, he hasn't got a not out this season, so let's just call it 16. Flintoff gets 1, Davies gets a half century as well. Garside and Markham get out in the 20s, and Vaughan finishes not out, 3 off 19. Shaheen Shah Afridi gets player of the game, which I'm not actually too surprised about. He batted very well, and he got a fifer in the first innings. But we do very well. We get the win, 20 points to us, and that takes us back to second on the table. We're now trailing by 9 points. Nottinghamshire, 9 wins and a loss. We're 7 wins and 3 draws. Sorry, 9 wins and a draw for Nottinghamshire. I keep getting that wrong. Just the bonus points are keeping us in it. Hopefully a few of those draws won't cost us too much towards the back end of the season. And we now have the 100, which will be the next episode. Fulks has returned from international duty. Davies, Maxwell and Inglis have been selected for an overseas competition. I believe it's a T20 fixture or series. But next episode will be the start of the 100. We've also got some one-day cup fixtures, which will be happening at the same time. But that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys then. Bye.